Lindsay Brooks from Runaway Spoon in the kitchen with us today. This is a fun one. We're doing we found a cheese that actually has some coffee in it.
Right. So a coffee-themed show I thought needed to have some espresso and cheese into it. So Sartori is a newer cheese company that came out a couple years ago. They released a line called Bella Vitano. If you've not tried it, they have a couple different flavors and varieties of it. It's a really great cheese, has a little bit of crystals in it. What they actually did for this one is they rubbed the rind of the cheese with espresso and then let it age with the espresso grounds on there. So you get a little bit of the crunch of the espresso grounds because they're actually still on the rind.
You can see that.
And then they also the cheese itself is kind of a sweet and salty mixed in with the espresso. It's a really nice cheese just to have as a cheese platter. But then I thought, let's kick it up a notch, add some figs to it, arugula, and make a sandwich out of it.
Ooh, so it's a gourmet grilled cheese. For coffee lovers, you're going to go nuts over this. So you can, again, find this cheese in the specialty cheese section of your grocery store. Bella Vitano, they have lots of different flavors, and they do a Merlot and a rosemary.
Yep, and they have a gold one.
Yeah, it is fantastic, and it's a Wisconsin company, so love to support them. So, all right. Put me to work here.
All right, so you're just going to slice slices of cheese here. We're going to put that onto some bread.
Okay.
If you're making a grilled cheese or a panini, you really want to buy some nicer bread. If you think about it, there's not a whole lot of ingredients going on here, so you want the nicest quality ingredients that you can find. So get a nice rustic, hearty bread. Don't use like your Wonder Bread.
No.
It's going to fall apart on the sandwich.
Yes,
you want
exactly.
something decent.
Okay.
And the next thing you're going to look for in the store is fig spread or fig jam, preserves. You can typically find that in the jam section. Sometimes they put it by the specialty cheese section because it does lend itself well to cheeses. And you're just going to put down a few tablespoons worth onto the bread here.
Now, for people who aren't real familiar with figs or fig jam, can you kind of describe what it is and what,
It's wonderful and delightful. It's my favorite jam and spread to use. Figs in general have seeds in them, so there's a little bit of a texture to it. And they're not a super sweet fruit, so they're kind of more of a earthier flavor to them. If you find fresh figs in the store, they're beautiful to cut open. They've got some great colors to them. Otherwise, the fig jam's pretty mild. It's not a very strong flavor to it.
It works great on grilled cheese sandwiches. It really does. Don't think like raspberry jam. It's not like that at all.
No, it's not as sweet as that, and it doesn't have as much pectin in it, so it's not so gummy. Right,
Good stuff.
Spread out a good fair amount of...
to both sides of the bread, okay.
Just one side.
Or one side, okay.
And then you can go ahead and layer on the cheese over here.
Okay.
I normally put the cheese onto the bread so that it kind of melts into the bread a little bit.
Looks like we need some more of it. This is gorgeous cheese. How fun to put this on a cheese platter,
Yeah,
too.
if you're somebody that likes cheese or is interested in cheese, take a look when you cut into it. You can see all the different little crystallizations in there.
Yeah.
And the little juice that kind of runs out of those pores.
And if it breaks up a little bit,
Yeah, I was
that's
going to say, and it's kind of a crumblier cheese too. So, and then you want to take some fresh arugula. You can typically find arugula in any grocery store, but in the organic section.
Okay.
It's just a lettuce. It's a kind of a spicier green, and it's typically baby arugula because when it gets a little high, the plant gets a little high, it gets really peppery. You can also grow it in your garden. We do that every year too. So I'm going to put this on top of the cheese here. About 1/4 of a cup or so. You want a nice amount of greens there.
Now, Lindsay brought this in. This is a panini grill. I have an electric one. This was one that just goes right on top of your stovetop. If you don't have one of these, just a regular frying pan would work too. You're going to want to put another pan or something heavy on top of it.
Yep. And you don't have to. You can have just a toasted sandwich. But if you're making a panini, you definitely want some weight to the top of the sandwich to kind of make it crispy.
Press it down. Okay.
Yep. A little bit of pan spray works.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and set these in here.
And then this goes on top of them, and this is the weight, and just kind of press it down.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to let this hang out a little bit, get all melty and wonderful, and when we come back, we'll show you what these look like. I love paninis because you pay like, $12 for them out at a restaurant.
They're super easy to make, and it just adds a regular cold cut sandwich to another level.
Yeah, absolutely does. Toasty and cheesy and melty. So stay with us. We'll be back.